Okay, so Assalamualaikum and good evening everyone. So today we would like to share news about quality education. Oh, so Pira Bakaran, can you tell us something about it? I think
Good evening, everyone. Today we'll talk about quality education and why it matters. Firstly, let's start with what is the goal here. The goal here is to ensure inclusive and quality education for all and promote lifelong learning. Moving on to why does education matter? Education enables upward socio-economic mobility and is a key to escaping poverty. Education helps reducing inequalities and reach gender equality and is crucial to fostering tolerance and more peaceful societies. Over the past decade, major progress has been made towards increasing access to education and school enrollment rates at all levels, particularly for girls. Nevertheless, about 258 million children and youth were still out of school in 2018. Nearly one-fifth of the global population in that age group. As the COVID-19 pandemic spread across the globe, countries announced the temporary closure of schools impacting more than 91% for students worldwide. By April 2020, close to 1.6 billion children and youth were out of school. How much progress have been made so far? The primary school completion rate reached 84% in 2018, up from 70% in 2000, and under current trends is expected to reach 89% globally by 2030. In 74 countries with comparable data for the period 2011 till 2019, around 7 in 10 children aged 3 and 4 were developmentally on track in at least 3 of the following domains. Uh, Literacy, numeracy, physical development, social emotional development, and learning. The global adult literacy rate aged 15 years and older was 86% in 2018, while the youth literacy rate 15 to 24 years was 92%. Let's look at what are the challenges remain. Despite years of steady growth in enrollment, okay, go up. Okay. Enrollment rates, non-proficiency rates remain disturbingly high. In 2018, some 773 million adults, two-thirds of whom are women, remain literate in terms of reading and writing skills. And the sheer magnitude of school closures due to COVID-19 is likely to set back progress on access to education. Let's look at where are people struggling the most to have access to education. Sub-Saharan Africa faces the biggest challenges in providing schools with basic resources. The situation is extreme at the primary and lower secondary levels where less than one half of schools in Sub-Saharan Africa have access to drinking water, electricity, computers, and the internet. Inequalities will also worsen unless the digital divide, the gap between underconnected, highly digitalized countries, is not addressed. Moving on to the part where are the groups that have a more difficult access to education. Yes, women and girls are one of these groups. About one-third of countries in the developing regions have not achieved gender parity in primary education. These disadvantages in the education also translate into lack of access to skills and limited opportunities in the labor market for young women. And what can we do about it? Ask for governments to place education as a priority in both policy and practice. Lobby our governments to make firm commitments to provide free primary school education to all, including vulnerable or marginalized groups. To find out more about Goal 4 and other sustainable development goals, you can visit the link that provided in this article. I think that is all from me. Thank you.
Alright, thank you, Pira. But I think I have one news that is related to the teams, but wait, I'll open it. Sharing. Okay, do you guys see it? So this is one of the news that I think related to what the teams that we are discussing now. So this news is focused on COVID-19. So maybe Shahid want to read it, or I don't know, make conclusion. Syed or Aiman or Jibitra.
Okay.
What?
So the title is COVID-19 exposed the underbelly of South Africa education system. The COVID-19 pandemic could be the catalyst for action to address the consequence of inequalities in South Africa's education system. This is because measures taken to prevent the spread of the coronavirus are unearthing a wide range of systemic problems right across the education landscape, from water shortage to bad sanitation and overcrowding. Uh, up Over the past 2.5 decades, the legacies of apartheid have slowly emerged, but never at the scale or with the impact inflicted by COVID-19. One example is basic water and sanitary infrastructure. The schools built under apartheid for black children in both urban and rural settings still have chronic infrastructure shortage. These gross inadequacies have hit the headlines from time to time. One example was the death of a 6-year-old Michael Komape in 2014. After he fell into a pit latrine at a school in the Limpopo province, the tragedy led to an outcry, but that didn't last. Many people were disturbed and saddened, but nothing changed substantially. By October 2019, over 26 years after apartheid and more than 5 years after Michael Komape's passing, project to refurbish pit latrines were still underway. But COVID-19 could be the shock that changed this. The country closed all schools in March as a part of lockdown measure designed to curb the pandemic. This week, the government announced a plan for the gradual opening of school. Can you scroll a bit down? The announcement has brought home the fact that many schools are not in a condition to welcome people back in a way that ensures their health and safety. For many, this will mean they can't return to their classroom with long-term consequences for the country. This will include having to shift the school-going age for children and losing an entire cohort of university entrants. The impact of the change being forced by COVID-19 were best summed up by the Minister of Basic Education, Angie Moshe, when she said, "The virus has forced us to re-engineer the basic education system." Uh, so, Jivitra, can you continue?
Okay, let me continue. So the union's concerns were laid out in 14 points that included this points. The first one is proper school infrastructure in the form of proper toilet facilities and classrooms. Second one, observance of social distancing inside the classroom and in courtyards. The third one is reduction of class sizes. And the fourth, the provision of soap, sanitizer and mask. And lastly, the screening of learners, teachers and support personnel. So another union, the National Professional Teachers Organization of South Africa, asserted that the purpose dates were incomprehensible. So the government most recent statement was met with a more muted response from the unions. This suggests that government had begun to address many of the concerns raised initially. So the events of the past 6 weeks have systematically exposed the scale of the problem facing South African schools. Many are so severe that they stand in the way of the country being able to send its pupils safely back into the classroom. So these are the news that related to the last teams of our 3 SDG teams. So next week we will need our task is need to combine all the news that we gathered. So next week, when do you guys free? Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So just let me know. So when do you guys free?
I think we can do it on weekend.
Weekend,
Oh no. I think we can do it on Wednesday.
Wednesday. Okay. We can do it Wednesday. So everyone agree?
Yes, agree.
Okay.
Okay, but for the last task, I think we cannot do online. But later I will update. I will ask our supervisor.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you everyone.
Right, thank you.
Have a nice day.
Thank you.